We're alive. Since the last time I said it. One person joined so far. Huh? Two. We'll wait a few minutes, guys. Hopefully we get some people joining. Then we'll start. Just give a couple minutes. Huh? Three people. All right. Hopefully more people join in and take these sessions a little bit more seriously. It's frustrating to see that not really everybody says they want something, and then when you do it, nobody really cares. So we'll see how it goes. So the bear's on his back. We're gonna go straight into technique, right? Since there's also a lot of people joining. I'm going to cut through. So when I step in, I'll show both sides, don't worry. Come over his leg, keep my hand on the hip so that when I come through, I will start to slide it under his arm for the underhook. At the same time, I'll pick up his arm so that I can end up in side control under his arm. And then I switch my knees. So hopefully you guys have partners for this. I'm gonna kind of drive his knees to the side that I want to go. Step, knee on the floor, and my toes are on the floor on the other side of his leg. So I'm kind of pinning his leg to the ground. Other hand on the other side is on the hip. As I slide forward, my hand slides forward on the other side, under the arm. At the same time, picking up his arm on this side. Once I'm here, I can stay there or I can come side control. We'll use this to sort of warm up. 1. And then go to the other side. Okay. Back, drive. I like to drive the knees to one side, depending on which way I'm going, doesn't really matter. And as I'm going down, so now I'm like all my base is on the hip and the top of the knee, right above the knee. Slide. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to do 10 times each side, and then we'll move on from there. Any questions, feel free to ask. Do me a favor, whenever you guys sign in from now on, can you just like say hi or salam or something so I know who's here, because I don't know how to check to see who's here. It's just good to know. That'd be helpful. Thank you. All right, so after doing the pass, we're going to do a continuation today. Instead of doing everything from one position, we'll do a continuation of positions today. So we have a pass, right? And when I pass, I'm going to come side control, right? So when I'm here now, okay. So now when I'm in side control, his arm is in the way right now. I didn't get under it. So now there's certain things I can do from here. But if his arm is elbows inside, then there's a less chance of me to attack his arm. So we're going to try to set up a choke right now. So I'm going to move my arm from holding his head to the other side. I'm still staying tight. I'm on his shoulder. And I come under on the other side, his arm. Okay? And this hand that was on this arm goes to the hip. Okay? Now I have control of his head and his hip on the other side. Now I'm able to move. I can slide until I free this arm on this side of my hip. Once I've done that, I move back. When I move back, I grab under his head, 4 fingers, palm facing up. I grab 4 fingers there. And many times he'll try to block because he knows what's coming. So what you can do is you can hold it up first and then just slide your forearm over his head, on his neck. Drop the elbow. And once I drop the elbow and I have control of the back of his neck, I just start to push my elbow forward here. Just slide it along the mat so his neck is pushed that way. All right? No need to sprawl. If you do want to sprawl, you can move this leg to get down lower. I don't prefer to sprawl, and especially this hand. Don't sprawl the leg, that's his escape. If you start to sprawl, see a lot of people doing this, and then they start to escape his arm, and then he's escaped the position. Okay? So Zubair will do one more time. And then if you have any questions, no, you don't need to sprawl. No need for it. The finish. Here. I drop the elbow so it's like touching the ground, and then I just push towards his ear. There's no need to sprawl at all. No need, right? If you want to get down lower, I move my left leg, the high leg, but the other leg is staying very close to his elbow. But I also don't prefer to do that. I just like to stay here. I think it's really strong. Just stay very tight. It's harder for him to escape, right? You just sometimes, if the guy is very strong, you have to be careful of rolling you over. So it happened to me a couple of times, but then if he starts to do that, then I can move my leg back, right? But to finish, no need to sprawl. Okay? So the whole position from the pass, you end up in side control with the pass. You pass. Move the hands, moves his body, the hand comes free, he comes back, under the neck, grabs, elbow down, and finish. Okay. Do that a few times each side, 5 times each side. And then if you're having trouble, if you have a partner, it's good. Then you can know if the choke is working or not. If you don't have a partner, just try to focus on the details. So when you come back and we'll get together, you guys will have some good knowledge there. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask, otherwise keep doing your reps. We got attendance is lower each time. It'd be nice to know why. If you're watching this at a later time, maybe suggestions for timings. Maybe timings are bad. We can all agree to a better time. I'm open to that. Better days, I'm open to that. Yeah, so give your suggestions. Can you see? Ramon's back. This might not work on Ramon. No, it'll work on anybody. You need to do it right. Some people have stronger necks than others, right? So I'm gonna give a few variations. While if you're still getting it, it's okay. Try to go for perfection on this one. So when you're here and you go, sometimes the guy he knows what's happening. He knows the choke, and he's expecting you to put your hand over. So what happens is, as soon as you grab inside, you grab your elbow, right? And he starts to pull down. And this is going to create a lot of pressure on my wrist. So I end up needing to let go. So if this does happen, it's okay. Make sure you still stay tight to him. And I can always come back to it, right? I don't have to leave the whole thing. I'm still got my setup on the other side, right? I can come back here and I can come over his face. If he's still trying to defend, it's okay, right? It's hard now for me to get to this, right? So what I can do is when he starts to grab my elbow, I go under his arm, right? And go north-south and move to the other side, right? And then I finish the choke on that side, right? So we are on the far side. He's opened up this whole section here. So now I come underneath and I've grabbed the same side here and I'm here, right? If I'm under his arm, now I'll start to set up other things. But I can go for the same choke, or I can go for the variation, which I'm going to show you now. So I'll do it on this side because the counter or the variation that we're going to do is going to finish on that side. You need to see on that side. So we're here. I go for the choke. He defends. I come to this side. But while I'm here, both my hands, see, both my arms are under his arms. They're inside his arms here, right? So I stay like that. I grab under, just like the standard choke that we're doing. I'm under. Lift your head to bear. I'm here. My hand's here again on the other side. But this one is going to wrap around. Keep my chest on his elbow. And now my hand is on the shoulder. Okay? Keeping the pressure. Grab the lapel. Hold the lapel. This hand is going to come near the hip. And now I just start to put pressure with my right shoulder and turn. And we have the choke with the lapel, my shoulder, and there's your variation. Good. Okay, so here, just so you can see the other side. So we're here. I tried the choke, didn't work. I come underneath, move to the other side, wrap him around. Okay, now I'm wrapped, and I keep in the pressure. Open the lapel, hold, and finish the choke, keeping the pressure. Good? Okay, he's not doing it to me because my shoulder is not good. If you have any questions on that one, then let me know. It's a little bit more technical, but very useful. Make sure you try that both sides, okay? And always go for the first technique, right? If the first technique is there, don't need to complicate things and go for the next ones. Just go for what they call some people call this the paper cutter. And the second one, I don't know what they call it. It's a technique that's very useful. You can give it a name. Can you give it a name? Names are suggested. Maybe there's a name out there, I don't know. Let's do 5 times a side. Make sure you get it. If you have a partner, feedback is always good for your partner. So the partner should always tell if they're doing it right. If you don't feel the choke good, then make sure you tell them, okay, something's wrong, so that you guys can get it down good. But I can do a couple times on you. stretch my shoulders out. Oh yeah, see that side? It's like chiropractor. Oh, I'm tapping my shoulder. Yeah? All right, let's see the questions. You feel the second one is the shoulder and pressure there. Right, so sort of a mix of shoulder and whatever's weaker that you're tapping from. But the shoulder is more of where the pressure is coming from. On the second one. Yeah, you can get it from the beginning. You don't need to set it up like that. Even from here, you can set up that underneath, wrap straight away. And now we have here. Right? But where is the bare feels is the shoulder. Okay? It's not necessarily a joke. The shoulder's getting stretched in directions it's not supposed to, like this way all the way. But because he's not able to turn over, and he starts to feel the pressure here, right? And especially jiu-jitsu guys, that is a very overused part, and it's always sore. So hurts even more. Good. Okay, any more questions? Let's see. Sean. Is that Sean? Is that the Sean we know? Huh? No. Sean Brook. Huh? Sean, can you confirm who you are, please? I'm interested to know. Same name, yeah, Peter's son, right? Nice. Good to have you here, Sean. Just what I wanted to confirm. I know who you are now, don't worry. Okay, so any more questions for those techniques? The paper cutter and the variation for that one. That's true. The lapel is for the control, Sean. So when you're doing the variation from the paper cutter, the lapel is to help hold keep the pressure on his shoulder, and then the other hand moves to the other side of the hip so he can't follow you when you start to turn. Same like the baseball bat joke, like when you're trying to finish and you're rotating, if they follow you, then they relieve the pressure. So your hand stops their hip, right, on this side. When it's here. If I'm just holding, I have nothing here to hold. So holding the lapel helps me kind of like put more pressure. And so I put it on this side, right? Here. Now I'm able to pull up. I can pull up and push down and drop my weight, right? So the lapel just kind of reinforces things for the shoulder pressure. Any more questions? Feel free to ask. If you have tried this position before and you weren't able to finish it, and you have some issues, some situations, maybe the way somebody defended, you can ask, about that. Your dummies, it's a little more difficult because it all depends on the reaction of your partner. All right. So we're in the same position under, and we're grabbing behind the neck, right? And I came over and he defended. I'm not able to choke him, right? And then when I start to go inside here, he closes his elbow. So I'm having a hard time to do either of these techniques, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my hand under his head, right? And I'm going to just rest my fingers, or as far as I can, my hand right inside his armpit here. And I'm going to pull him here, right? I want him to do this, okay? I want him to base on his elbow, right? It's a reaction that most people have, unless they know what's coming, of course, but that's what I want here, okay? Now I'm going to have, this is where we are here, right? Under, grab, and I kind of pull him with force, to force him to face properly, right? Now, with my right leg or my outside leg, I'm going to hook him, face him down, and stretch my leg, right? That's why you need a partner. Most of the dummies, they don't have long enough arms to do this, but you won't be able to finish this properly. So one, defending, under the head, armpit, here. Hook, stretch, and then I stretch the arm. So, it's the arm bar on the other side. So you're going to end up in a crucifix position. There are many things that you can do from this position. You can lay down. That's something we'll get into later, maybe. But the basic thing is I want to hook his arm so that he has no way for defense, right? I'll show the other side now. Let's do this angle. All right, so we're here. Under, defense. Hook. I'm going to pull his arm back by just sliding my knee back. And I drop down, and I lift my arm, drop my hip, and my leg is acting, okay, as the finisher. All right, so drop down, leg up. Good. A little bit more difficult, more technical for those who have partners. You will benefit more on this one. If you don't have a partner and it's difficult to do this on the dummies, on Bob or whoever you have, then just keep doing the other ones, and hopefully when you guys get back and we're all training together, we can go over these things again. We have a lot of time to do that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll stay here for a couple of minutes, Let me know if you need to see something again or you have any questions for anything. And then we'll be done then. Any questions? We've showed all of these techniques, by the way, that we've done in all of the sessions that I've covered here on the live sessions. We've all done it in class. It's nothing different, nothing special. Just it's a lot of techniques in jiu-jitsu. So there's a lot of review needed, a lot of repetitions needed. So just try to dig deep in your memories, and I'm sure you'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember when they showed that before. A lot of times you feel like you want to, okay, I need to implement that in my game, and you're like, okay, I'll do that, and then you start forgetting about the other things that you like. It's a lot of stuff to put together, but some things are going to be good for some people, but not everybody. It all depends on what kind of fits into your game. But when we do come back, that's one of the things that I noticed from a lot of the students, is you need to open up your game more. I see most people, they just focus most on winning the role, and that's, although that can be the objective sometimes, it shouldn't be your only objective every time. You need to play different games. You need to start expanding your game so that it's not just your A game. You need to have, like, different things where you can eventually later on your A game will become like this instead of right now it's just like this. And you have your backup game and stuff like that. So when somebody shuts down your best things, you don't get stuck or you don't become in a bad position. So you have to explore and see what's good for you, what's good for your body type, what's good for your conditioning. Sometimes plays a factor. Some moves are with pressure, some are with speed. So kind of just have to play around with it and see what's good for you. Okay, we'll see if there's any questions. And then, what's the technique to avoid this crucifix? Don't base with your hand. That's the first thing. There's a few things for the crucifix, or one that when somebody has certain positions, right? So a lot of times people make the mistake. If you know the crucifix could come, then the main thing you should not do is base like that. That's what I want. I want him to base like that. But if he doesn't move his feet the other way, if he doesn't base like that, I can't crucifix because I can't get my leg inside, right? It's the same thing like here. Go on your knees. A lot of turtle, single leg here. So a lot of times people, they start getting on the inside single here, right? And they want to take me down, but this is a very good way for me to get to crucifix. It's not a very good idea for him to do this. He might take me down if I don't know, and we end up here, right? But if I know or I'm comfortable in this position, then we are going to end up in a crucifix right here, right? So anytime you do something and one arm is in between my legs, I can get to a crucifix, right? It's just, have I drilled enough to understand how to get to that crucifix, right? So the first thing, when I'm here and I'm trying to get a single, right? It's very dangerous for me to stay here, right? So I need to come to the outside. He can also have submissions there, right? But it's a little easier for me to get out of this. So to avoid the crucifix, you need to understand it, right? So practicing, even if you feel like crucifix positions or not, good for your game or you're not comfortable with it, it's always good to drill them and understand them and even practice them, because then you understand what's the danger that can be there. That's for avoiding. That's what I would say. Avoid the crucifix. It's very difficult to get out of there. That's for another day. Any other questions? We'll give a few minutes. Don't forget to do the challenges that were posted on the groups from the coaches who made the videos for different solo drills and exercises. Keep those up. Keep your cardio up. I think Vision had some challenge going on with some of the guys. I don't know how far it got, but Samir and Roman and Akira and some. I don't know if there's any others, but it can be an interesting thing to do within the group or Instagram, wherever you guys want to start challenging. Don't challenge me. Nobody challenge me, please. I'm busy. But it could be something to keep everybody busy. Challenge are better. It's been lazy. Yeah. All right then. So if there's no more questions, I guess I will see you all on Monday, 6:30. Not sure if we'll continue the 3 days a week. We might just do it 2 days a week since the attendance is not very great. But let's see. Let's see how it goes this week. Saturday doesn't seem to be a very good attendance. I may do some technique and upload it, not live, just upload some videos and stuff. So at least there's something for you to practice if you do have a partner and you want to do new things. So I may start doing that as well. So thanks for joining. I appreciate all of you, and I wanted to thank actually those of you who have supported the gym during this time. A lot of businesses are closing down, and it's a difficult time for a lot of people. So I want to just thank those of you who have supported us, and hopefully this doesn't last too long, but we appreciate your support, and thank you so much. So we'll see you Monday, inshallah. Okay. Thank you guys. Assalamu alaikum.